Ég get sendt þér þennan linkin, maður sjá.
Sendur mér hann hvar?
Ég get sendt hann... Já, ég get að senda hann hér.
Ok. Svona áður en við fyrir live. Sendur mér hann hvar?
Ég get sendt hann...
Ég ætla bara að byrja að skrifa postið bara eitthvað over...
Bara, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Who would come here? Comments, já, nei. Hvernig get ég sendt þér linkin? Private chat. Sérðu þetta í private chat?
Hvað er private chat?
Það stendur þarna...
Já, hérna.
Já, ég held að það að sjá svona eitthvað, já. Ég sé náttúrulega record og banners og alls konar af því að ég er svona the host.
Ok, ég postaði þessu bara á hérna channelum mitt núna. Ok, post created. Þá bara fyrir við að byrja, kallið minn, og ég bara fylgi þér, ég er bara einhver...
Switch to...
Hérna,
Já.
ég er bara einhver bittur.
Ég mun bara kynna aðeins, bara, ég opna alltaf hlaðvarpið og svo bara gef ég þér orðið og svo bara fer það bara hvert sem við viljum. Ég ætla að hafa notes hérna á opið því af hverju maður að skrifa þetta notes sem maður ekki með það.
En comment sem koma hjá fólki, geti ég séð þau hérna, sér þú þau bara?
Ég er með OBS stream software en á hinum skjánum, ég er með 2 skjáir. Þar get ég séð og svo sem þegar upptakan er búinn þá getum við fókusað yfir á fólki þar og tekið svona stream spjallu þau. Ég er búin að keyra í hvað 4-5 klukktíma beint heim, hendi amin á hérna í brúsa, hleyp upp, ít og rekord.
Já, ég er með grænt hér, sko, ég var að reyna að vera svona mitt vakandi og með að nota sko.
Ég er með Amino Energy, hérna, Blueberry.
Blueberry.
En ég er að fíla bakgrunnin, þú sér munin, þegar það sést ekki vegginn, nú ertu svona, þú ert byggður inn í ramma, þetta er mjög, fólk getur sagt bara, oh my god, it's green screen, þá getur þú bara, oh yeah. Ég veit ekki hversu oft þegar ég var hjá pappa, þegar ég var með klikkað herbyggi á pappa, fólk voru alltaf bara green screen og stóði bara upp og náði segjaði að Nintendo bara eitthvað, oh shit, oh my god.
Ég er að sjá þetta, við erum live núna.
Jep. Herru, ég skal bara...
Ég fatt ekki að við ætlum kannski að byrja svona að spjalla núna.
Já, við getum bara að byrja the recording. Ég ætla að sá allt rétt í hérna. Ég er með ljósin á. Ég er með Mr. Skelly.
Mr. Skelly, man.
Mr. Skelly boy. Herru, ok, ég er bara að byrja þetta. Og svo... Hvað standir hérna uppi? Hérna ger ég... recording og svo ég þarf að read this recording has ended og svo
það gengur alltaf ekki sko
nei, ég þarf að re-record og svo ef ég fer aftur hingað í dashboard
Leikjarinn is live, episode 6 Já
ég þarf að fara í það er eins og þetta vill ekki leyfa mér að taka upp aftur eftir að ég gerði test recordingið það er náttúrulega veit ekki hvort ég þarf að bjóða þér í annað room ég þarf að íta hérna share, implement, download recordings, return to dashboard þú getur dottið út ef þá sendi ég bara annað link Alessandra er með síman hana dashboard. Recording. Podcast sucks. Create. One, two, three. Microphone test. Line. Ég. Leikjarinn. Yes. Alright. Enter studio. Invite guest. Geti gert previous guest. Nei. Ok.
Oh, here I am. This is me. There's nowhere else on earth I'd rather be. So how's it hanging, yo? What's going on right there? Well, there's definitely something going on, but I can't be quite sure. Oh, it's just me. And I'm apparently live on somebody else's stream. Yeah, I am. Yeah, blood, sweat, and tears.
God damn. Alright.
What's going on?
StreamYard var bara eitthvað. You cannot record after you already record. What?
I see. Yeah, that's kind of a problem. I mean, at least I've heard.
God damn it.
It's kind of hard to start recording when you're already recording. I mean, I wish we could do
I will
that
sue
in
them all.
today's day and age, you know.
Alright, so I will put this on full screeny, take a couple of a breathy, and then
Yes, I think we should.
I'll start the recording.
Very important. Yes.
And yeah, I'll just start the beginning of it, and then I'll give you the word, and then we just rock and roll. I just had to run down the stairs, get the phone, run upstairs, send you the link, run downstairs, give her the phone, run upstairs. God.
Yeah. Lots of running outside there as well. You know, everyone's running. So it's Wednesday right now, and it's like it feels like it's like a live stream Wednesday. Everyone goes live on a Wednesday. I feel. I don't know why.
The internet connection of Iceland goes boom.
Yeah, it's exactly, yeah.
Talking about boom. Look at that.
Tintin.
The Tintin rocket. It's funny when I say, like, have you seen the Tintin rocket? People are like, you mean Destination Moon rocket? Like, okay.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to know? I thought Tintin was Icelandic when I read it.
Yeah.
Well, the movies were misleading.
They used to think many things, didn't they?
So, all right. We can go ahead and begin this. So, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Leikjarinn here. It's been a while. This is the Leikjarinn podcast, and my life is up and down at the moment. Don't feel bad for me, but there are some things, and I'll explain at another date. But I have, even though there's hardships around, I want to do podcasts again, because why go to like a psychotherapist or even a dentist to talk? Well, you can't really talk as a dentist, can you? But you can kinda explain yourself. But why not talk to a dear friend from my childhood, Stephen the Eagle? Hello, my friend.
Hello there.
So, you're the first guest on my podcast that I have a personal, deep soul bond of the cosmos to. Like, there's a lot of things we're going to talk about in this podcast, but yeah, this is my first guest that is on the same island. I think. Yes, you are.
It's an honor.
It's
an honor
a
to be
deep
here.
honor. So,
Yeah, it is for sure.
The people over at your side, they know you, but people over at my side perhaps don't. So, can you give us the gist of the channel?
Well, I mean, some people at your side might know me because there was a live stream that you did recently, and it just turned into a conversation between you and me, and you were highlighting my channel on that live stream, which I definitely I like that gesture. So who am I? I am the Icelandic Psycho. One of my favorite films is American Psycho. So a few years back, I created this channel called IcelandicPsycho for me to be able to put out some content that was a little bit more just me talking and just not me editing stuff. I mean, my old channel was me doing montages and trailers and, all just some copyrighted content. So I wanted to go out there. I wasn't
personal.
It wasn't personal. So I wanted to do a channel that was personal. So I just created that name because I felt that it was fun, but I didn't really know which direction I was going to go. I mean, I had so many different things in mind, but obviously now going down that movie path, I just gotta stick to it. I mean, I was gonna go do a few things, but yeah, the movies, that's my thing as people that know me.
I mean, it has always been, right? Ever since we were just young dudes at school, you were always like, guys, I saw this movie and it sucked, and I'm gonna tell you about it. I'm gonna tell you about why it sucks. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it was very important to get it out. You know what I mean? It's
and now you can finally do it in front of the camera, you know?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
It's a powerful thing, because like when you do a vlog, you can be a movie channel through and through, but then when you do a vlog, like when you were walking downtown in Reykjavik, that's just brings people and audiences more to you. I mean, they're not there with you in Iceland, but they're at least 5% there with you, and it's just like when I started streaming many years ago, and I did 3 streams where I took my phone outside. I never streamed on my phone. I was always like in my game room in a setup. But people liked it more when I was just walking randomly outside and like, look, a deer. Like people don't realize I just have deer sometime in my garden, like out of like that's normal to me. And people are like, oh my god, you live next to the ocean and the mountains. I'm like, yeah, and you? And they say, yeah, I live in New York City and I haven't seen the ocean in 8 months. So I can never, people, you never know, like something that is not interested necessarily to you, like going to the in the middle of Reykjavik, like to see all the ducks to you, it's just like, whatever. But someone watching your channel might be like, oh my God, it's crazy, you know?
I know it's a real honor to have a live DuckTales just in Reykjavik. So that's
for sure.
Yeah.
So we do have a couple of topics, but of course podcasts, my podcasts at least have just this normal rhythm. We have a topic just to kind of start things up, and then we just dig into whatever. And we could start with maybe one of your first topics, if you please.
Yeah, the Spider-Man one, maybe. Yeah, I was really insisting on that one. I've been insisting on you to play the first Spider-Man game that on PlayStation. Is it the first Spider-Man? I mean, it's the best Spider-Man game on PlayStation 1 at least. It was sort of like a staple for us in childhood. And
are you talking about the one where the city becomes full of this poison green fog gas thing?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Just a sec. I have it right
Yeah,
here.
and that is like the reason why you couldn't go. It was a smart move, and I never played the game. Yeah, and I have to say, like I was looking at this here on the PlayStation 2, and this is a nice cover, but this I am kinda odd when I know this is a video game, movie game, but the copy you have there on the PlayStation 1, this is just like a classic like Spider-Man game. It doesn't necessarily have to be from the comics or even the cartoons. It's just like, this is just the Spider-Man game. And they have this creative freedom about the fog and everything.
Absolutely. It takes inspirations from many different, things, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it's just one of these few video games that, has stayed with me, ever since, because I don't really play modern video games, I mean, at all, really. But this just, the nostalgia of this is just fantastic. But I can't really play this game. I just have it. I don't have PlayStation 1.
Well, what you could do is two things. You could go to Góði Hirðurinn or Geisladiska búð Valda, or my friend has an online store called Retro Leaf, and he sells PlayStation 1 consoles and 2 and Nintendo and Sega. I'll link it to you. And all you need basically is PlayStation 2, because remember, PlayStation 2 could play both.
Oh, right.
And it's also a DVD player. I used it more as a DVD player, honestly, than a game console.
Yeah, pretty much everyone's first DVD player, am I right? And it's thought to be the first, the best console when it comes to games, PlayStation 1.
It was just perfect.
Came out. Yes, it was really just the Lord of the Rings games, the Grand Theft Auto games. I remember playing the Grand Theft Auto games, the first two, which were a lot of fun. I mean, great fun. But then playing the third one on PlayStation 2 and being able to, like, you punch people, they're going to punch you back, and just seeing everything in this
like 3D environment.
Right? Yeah.
Like they take the top-down camera and now you're just like in the world, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then they went just above and beyond when they did GTA San Andreas.
Oh yeah.
I think this is the first open world game where it had all of it. It had the desert, it had the countryside, it had the city, the strip club. Oh, the first strip club I ever went to.
Yeah,
it had everything.
Me too. Well, I mean, I remember playing, like I said, it for the first time, Grand Theft Auto 3. It's a very, specific memory in my mind. But I also remember that I was the first person in our class that owned that game and owned PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
So I was getting a lot of people over at my house that, were never coming over at my house. But all of a sudden I was this popular kid.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
I was talking about this not too long ago about like when the village where I'm from was like 100 people, and there was just two guys in the entire village that owned a Nintendo 64, and they were just like Billy and Bob, but now there were like Billy and Bob the legends that own Zelda on Nintendo 64. Like, they're not just Billy and Bob anymore, they're like Billy and Bob that own the console now. It's different. Like, you could even be bullied by someone at school, but you own GTA San Andreas. He might just come over. Yeah. It's a crazy power. But today you don't have that. Today everyone owns basically everything, really. So it's not.
Yeah, everything is so accessible, isn't it?
And emulation. I mean, like, I own this game, but someone might be like, "Yeah, cool, that's cool and all, but I have it on like this emulator here."
Yeah, like, I mean, we've gone through so many variations of, VHS, DVD, formats, VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, and the same can be said about the PlayStation. I mean, growing up, there was PlayStation 1, and now there's PlayStation 5. So, I mean, what a ride.
I also, there is this game, I'm trying to remember, I was so disappointed. There's so many movie games. Oh, yeah. When the first Fantastic Four movie came out, I love that movie, by the way.
The first one.
The first one.
Yeah, I preferred the second one. The first one didn't really hook me in, but the second one
with the Silver. Oh no, sorry. The second one is the Silver Surfer. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
yeah. Screw the first one. Who knows? Nothing happens there.
Exactly.
They only
No,
get the
no.
powers and stuff. And there's actually that bathtub scene in the Himalayas in the snow. Yeah, the second one, and then like I watched the movie, and then they were just trying to do the same with the Spider-Man movie. Like, can we make a Spider-Man movie and then an awesome Spider-Man game? They did not.
No, I'm afraid not. I mean, Spider-Man games were always something that interested me. I mean, I remember I played some of those on Super Nintendo, and then of course PlayStation. The Spider-Man game from the first film was pretty good, and then of course the one that you were holding from Spider-Man 2
Yeah.
was, I mean, it was an amazing experience. Everything was so open, and you could take these different missions all over town, just, you know, if you were in the mood, right? And then Spider-Man 3 came out, and the game is sort of like the film. I mean, it's got something going for it, but it was disappointing compared to what came before it.
Yeah, I always say like I there's so many things. There's more things about the movie. I can't say I don't like them, but there's just more things about it that I was just disappointed. But like it all gets rewarded when, like, I'm not talking about like the dance scene, but then that scene is okay, I guess, when you see like he's wearing the black suit for the first time. It's just the most epic thing ever. And then, you know, sure, this is maybe not the perfect Venom, but it's still, we're finally seeing Venom.
Yeah,
you know, I have to
was
take it in
definitely
a perspective. Like, this is the
I
it's
mean, I
this
went to
or
see that
nothing,
film,
really. Was the
Yeah,
Sandman
exactly.
also?
Salmon also, and then of course
I
very
liked
often-
that. I think kind of nailed that.
Yeah, I
Had
mean,
the
but they
stripes
needed
in the
to
hair.
do a bit- Yeah, the stripes, but they needed to do a bit more focus. Like, you know, what is your focus in this film?
Hmm.
It's kind of like all over the place. But like I mentioned in my live stream recently, is that I feel like this film has aged bad. You know, better than I guess some, you know, some people remember it, because so many of these MCU films are all over the place.
Yeah.
So this doesn't feel as convoluted watching it now compared to some other stuff that's come out, but it doesn't take from the fact that it's a lesser sequel, of course. But, yeah.
My friend Matt actually gave a good point. It was not about this topic, but it's basically the same thing. It's like, back then it was all the first time, and then you just had a hit or you didn't. But now the entire MCU universe and all the movies it's a hit or miss, but most of them are just like, wow. And all these plot lines, and this character has to do this here in this movie so he can be relevant in this movie here when he comes back and joins the Avengers or whatever. But like the Spider-Man movies, the new Spider-Man movies, this is planned to like the every single frame. And this is just the amount of, like, I guess, professionalism. I'm not saying they weren't professional back then. Like, for example, the first Iron Man movie is just hard to top, and it was made back then. But like, I guess there was just this evolution of these movies. Like, the first Spider-Man movie is great, but then like the first Spider-Man movie today, like this new generation today, they have everything planned to like every single letter in the script. But like maybe in the day, they're just like, oh, we're also gonna have like this wrestle scene, and he's not Spider-Man yet. He's just wearing like like what he called himself, like the human spider, and that's probably from the comics. But like, you know,
the human spider.
the human
That's the best
spider,
you got?
yeah, best you got. Yeah,
The amazing Spider-Man.
and to us, it's like
my
a classic to us, because, you know, Tobey Maguire, when he stepped out of that portal in that other Spider-Man movie, the people in at least my theater went crazy. We went crazy for Garfield too, don't get me wrong, but people lost it when Tobey Maguire came out.
Of course, yeah. I mean, the childhood staple, man.
And what do you think about, like, when they came out? Like, Garfield came out, and it was like funny, and the woman was like screaming and throwing stuff at him. He was like, it was very his character from that movie. And then I was thinking, if Tobey is about to come out, they can't have it too funny, because he's a very, you know, he is just how he is. He's calm, he's shy, but very heroic in and he's just a different spider. He's a different Peter of all the Peters, like Peter number 2, Peter number 3, Peter number 1. But when he steps out of the portal, he's like super confused and turns around and it disappears. I was like, God damn, they nailed it. It was such a moment. I loved it. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's a great scene, but for me, that film it feels like sort of this COVID film in a way, because I can just see in so many of these scenes that these actors are not at the same place, and they were using, old footage from Spider-Man 3 for Sandman, and it just feels like it's all just cramped together just to put out some sort of a fan service. And as a whole, it's not a film that I hold in a high regard, but it definitely has its moments.
I feel in that movie it had the best spider sense scene I've seen. It was crazy. It was when they were all kind of safe in this building, and then Peter, like Peter number 1, senses that something is wrong, and of course it's the goblin. But like, we are at this point thinking like, oh yeah, he is okay. He, like, the doctor inside, the good doctor that was once in there somewhere, is now here. But the entire time he was just, bluffing. And that scene was like powerful, because it's just like, I don't know, someone is talking to him and then he's just like, it's the same feeling like when you're about to pass out. Is basically what I felt when that scene came on screen.
Yeah, that one is pretty good. I will definitely admit that. Like I said, it has its moments. And when Doc Ock, first is coming, and he's like, oh, what's going on here? you're really excited to, he's coming.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a film that was nice to see once in the theaters, but yeah, I don't know. It's not. I would not put it highly in my Spider-Man ranking.
It was. I will agree. It was fan servicey. It was fan servicey. And it was doing it really well, and then they did it a little bit too much. They were throwing... it's strange to say, because this is what we want, really. We want all these things, but there's also a point where, like, you don't have to do this scene. Like, we don't need... It's cool, but they're fighting. Let them fight. We don't need... Like, I was a little bit like, man, like when they did the Garfield Spider-Man, when he finally saves her, I was like, this is Peter number 1's job, but I understand why they did it, because now Peter number 3 gets closer, even though he didn't save his Gwen, but it was nice. So,
of course, it's a full circle moment, sort of like a closure, like you said. So this is like a lot of this is what they're doing in the film.
Yeah.
But what bothers me the most is the fact that, like I said, I'm seeing this character like interacting with another character, but I can just sense that these people are not together at the same time.
Yeah. Maybe some scenes they were, because I saw screenshots where they are laughing at when he's doing like, my back scene, but like, who knows? Maybe he just came and did like 5 scenes and then he just had to go. That's the recording done there, and now it's just gonna clip. It reminds me, what we're talking about now, it reminds me of one of the Expendable movies, like they are in one of the planes, and it's like Schwarzenegger talking to who was the Die Hard?
Bruce Willis, yeah.
Bruce Willis was talking to Schwarzenegger, but they were not talking together. It was just some random bald guy when it was like they were showing behind him, and you just saw it, like, he is not talking. Yeah. They're not talking, man. And I think it's just like us, like I spot. It's hard when I watch a movie and I spot something. I'm like, I can't tell my wife this. I can't. When we watch a horror movie, they open the she's like taking the pills from the glass, glass shelf in the bathroom, opens it. I'm like 3, 2, 1, and then she closes it and like wah. And if it doesn't happen there, I'm like okay, 3, 2, 1. She turns around, and if it doesn't happen there, then I'm like, it's that. Okay, 3, 2, and then it happens, and I'm like totally not shocked. But my wife is like, ah! It's hard.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
hard. We have like the eyes of a director or something.
Yeah, I don't know. These things, they tend to bother me sometimes.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Like when I watch Lord of the Rings, I'm like, when Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn is about to like kick that helmet, I'm like, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do it.
That's gonna hurt.
I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say when he kicks it, I'm not gonna say to my wife that, like, did you know when Viggo Mortensen, the actor, kicked the helmet, he broke his toe? Like, all these things. It's hard. It's hard to watch movies with me that I know too much about. Well, the ones that I know too much about, like behind the scenes and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, behind the scenes on Lord of the Rings, that's just fantastic. All the work that went into every single detail in those films, that's just what a marvel.
I've heard that many schools that are teaching like being directors or just movie, what would you call this, like a film school.
Film school, yeah.
There's a couple of movies that are always used, but those are just used as movies. Like Back to the Future 1 is studied, and other movies are like studied at film schools for like a perfect script or pacing and things. But then Lord of the Rings isn't really studied as the films. The behind the scenes parts are studied. And I find that actually crazy. And I thought to myself, yeah, the behind the scenes of the trilogy is like almost 9 hours long or something. And it's just basically just free film school.
Right. Yeah, it is. It is for sure. And that is also what's fascinating to me, about collecting movies is all these extra features that you get, deleted scenes, audio commentaries, making of, all those sorts of things that, yeah, it makes it more interesting in a way. You're getting more of
more
the film that you like.
And this is not one of my topics, but I'm just thinking about it now, which is the magic of being in the moment. Do you miss? Do you miss like when you watch a DVD? I love putting a DVD in, and then there's this cool menu, like for example, Shrek. You could play a couple of games in the menu, like the donkey came up, like, "Are you gonna click play?" Or, stuff like that. I love that stuff. You don't see it now. It's just Netflix or whatever.
Right.
I miss that.
Those things used to be on DVD back in the days, and I know that bothers some people, but I mean, I guess it's just part of the the progression, the evolution of things in a way, and yeah, that's just how it is. I mean, there are things on VHS that I miss. These intros into these Disney films, and this guy that was talking about like this movie is a good one. Make sure, this guy, very memorable voice. Of course, he spoke in Icelandic, but
he's
so
a
many
legend.
of those things. Yeah, legend. Yeah,
and also about VHS, like you get the sounds, like you click stop, and then you hear like a, and then you click reverse, and he's like, and then you're like, I hope when I reach the end, my tape will be fine. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Taking out an old VHS out of an old VHS machine is dangerous because you can sometimes clip at the end and drag the whole thing out. Like, goddamn. But I love it. I miss that stuff.
God damn it.
And I can see you're wearing a Batman t-shirt and talking about old stuff. I got Batman on NES.
Yeah, many faces of the Batman.
And this one is actually really famous on Nintendo Entertainment System. It had we call it like, it had like Rainbow of Darkness, because there's Nintendo Entertainment System is really limited with color palettes. And this game is like, what? 80% just darkness, and Batman is actually dark blue so you can see him. But everything is very dark until you go into like buildings and stuff. It's like the Joker levels are like green and orange and purple and things. But like this game is almost on every single top 20 list of best Nintendo games of all time.
Right, so it should be. I mean, I remember I played this game on Game Boy as well.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. Game Boy is
What's
basically
that?
just a portable Nintendo Entertainment System. Do you remember when you got your Game Boy, or do you remember perhaps more when you got your Game Boy Advance, or did you own Color, or what versions did you own?
I just remember that I got Game Boy, and when I did get Game Boy, I got the yellow Pikachu game,
Yeah,
Pokemon game.
yeah,
So that was the reason for me to. I mean, I really wanted to play Pokemon games,
yeah.
and I mean,
Then you would have gotten maybe Game Boy Color. Like I owned a Game Boy, mine was green, and if it's colored, then
yeah,
it's the if it had color, then it was like Game Boy Color, and then the screen was in color, and I think all
it
the
wasn't. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, it wasn't color. I mean, I think it was probably blue or purple or something
Mm,
like. I can't say for sure. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, but it was some color on it for sure.
Mine was green, and I remember like this Pokemon craze. Like we used to buy the Pokemon cards, but never play the Pokemon game with the Pokemon cards. I don't even know how to play that stuff. We would take the cards, put them between our fingers, and throw them at the wall called Harka. And if my card would be closer to the wall, then I'm allowed to take your card. And there were so many parents that were like getting their kids home crying because they lost their like glance sparkling
Oh, yeah,
Charizard
Pokemon.
card because of this stupid gambling game. And this is what we did. And then there was also gambling when we played the game on the Game Boy. I would trade you like a Pokemon through like the internet line that you had to connect to your Game Boy.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and I would like,
A lot of
okay,
fun.
I will trade you my like Zapdos, and you will give me your lunch money for the next 5 days. Like there was gambling everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Good times. Yeah, it was simple times.
Simple
Keeping in
times,
mind.
losing money and going home crying. Ah, beautiful.
But I mean, tell me a little bit. I've been wondering recently. I mean, you've been like this stable on YouTube for, I mean, for as long as I can remember. Like coming back and you know, look, sometimes you've like been doing like things like lots and you know with lots of subscribers, and you've
Yeah.
had so many channels, and you've you know I remember you know through just like the last 15 years, I remember seeing videos of you like, okay, I'm back now. And
Yeah.
sometimes you know sometimes it's like, well, is he, you know, but you know it's like,
Yeah,
here you are now, and
there are many videos where I'm like, all right, guys, here's like there's a video on my channel called like the future of Leikjarinn, and I went all in on that video. I was in this like creative, just insane bubble. I had like 8 hours to just do all this stuff, and I went crazy. Instead of planning it, and just that specific day, I would just do a recording. No editing. Look at the recording the next day with fresh eyes and then edit. I would just
yeah.
record everything, a couple of takes, edit the same night, upload, do the title, do the description. I just had to get it out, and then just clicked upload, and then this creative freedom that this explosion it was gone the next couple of days, and then just real life kicked in, like, and I used this explosion wrong, but now, like for example, when I was on YouTube with another channel, like we have both had different channels and stuff. The first YouTube channel I ever did was more. I loved it. Like every single video. I know it was back in the day. I didn't have 2 monitors. I didn't have a crazy PC, microphone, lights. There's like freaking thing behind me blinking, and I have this neon sign. Like, what the hell is this? Like I had nothing like this. I had a bad little laptop and a game that I wanted to play, and it was just pure, just me expressing my love for this game that I'm playing. And I had a tiny little, really loyal community back then. On an old YouTube channel called The Fun of Classic, and I just loved everything I did there, and that love didn't really go over when I made a new channel and made Leikjarinn, because I was under so much pressure on myself and just pressure from others, like, because I was just I had the market, like there was Game TV and no one else. And then I arrive with all these nostalgia things that make people feel great, and I was also doing things for Game TV. But then before all that happened, I was doing a live stream, and I always wonder if I never had done a live stream, I would have probably continued with the Fun of Classic and I went deeper into it. But I would have never learned this. I would have probably never learned to talk in front of the camera. Even though you and me back in the day when we were doing the videos, we were unknowingly practicing. Because we just, we just did it for fun. But we're also, like, we were maybe doing a weird sketch about a guy looking for his poop or something. But we were still doing camera angles and cuts. And it was silly and just kids back in the 2000s. But we were still, like, doing it. And that is the difference now. Like, now I have an idea and I do it. And then I never really follow it up. And I was under also a lot of pressure when my stream blew up around 2011 and 12. I had like 800 sometimes to 1,000 people watching me, and I was getting rated by other streamers. Like, a rating is like you end your stream and all the people there, you like tell them to go over to me.
Yeah. Take them over to your place.
And sometimes I was about to go to bed after like 9 hours, and someone rates me with 2,000 people, and now I have 30 seconds to keep 30% of these people that came over. Like, so I guess just now I have this plan as a father with a kid, and I'm now a kid on the way. What can I do with the time that is given to us, Gandalf?
Yes.
So I know I'm not like, I don't have the views that I had, but my mind is in a way better place, and I feel better with all this off my shoulder, all this crazy. So if I would blow up now at some point, I would handle it better. It's hard being the only Icelandic guy doing this game stuff, and I was under like insane. It was too much, I guess. Just too much. And I think I was afraid to go all in. So I went all in on just one video. And people are always like, yeah, don't worry about the mic quality or the camera. But I do.
No, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, just go ahead. Make my day,
Yeah.
Sometimes I do. I mean, I've overthought a lot of, these things as well. But I guess it's more so before I started, before I got out there, it's a little bit, am I really going to do this? Am I going to go, out there? And it's like, I definitely had my reasons for doubting that would be a good idea. But, once you just get going, it's hard to stop. And it's, with so many other things in life, it's just, go ahead, just start and then just things.
It's like my friend Steve. Steve is one of the members of the Retro Adoctopus. I was gonna wear the Retro Adoctopus hat, but I'm a part of like a podcast called the Retro Adoctopus. It's an octopus, but retro Adoctopus. And Steve told me once, like, well, the first video, and you can probably even pitch in on this, like the first video you made, I'm not talking about the old channel, just the first IcelandicPsycho video you made, just the progress you are now, like just look at the background, look at how you are now, everything, like your personal things have changed, maybe a job, maybe physical things, that's just a part of your life, and that never really concerns the viewer unless they are asking personal things. But like what I'm getting at is, like, your first video, you were really unsure because you had no idea. You had an idea, but you're still pressing record, and you're just doing your first ever video, which is a tutorial for the rest of your career, I would say. So like for me now, I have all these ideas, but what I have to do is just like what my friend Steve said, and it's very true. Like, now you, the IcelandicPsycho, the first video, you were just a guy on YouTube. You just made some random name, and now you're trying to figure out what you are. And now you have done a lot of reviews. You have gone to the cinema. You have come back and told your viewers about it. You have movies that you have shared, top lists. Now you are a channel, even though you don't have millions of views. That's not the point. The point is you are now the Icelandic Psycho. People are starting to remember your profile picture. People are starting to remember your gestures, how you talk in front of the camera. You're different from other people because you are you. And I've had this like plummeted into my brain many times, but I always overthink this. But like, I just have to remember I am Leikjarinn, and maybe I was just going in a wrong direction with everything and all this pressure that I have. Now I'm just gonna do a different thing and see how that goes, and maybe live stream less. And when YouTube maybe starts to go somewhere, I'm not aiming high. I'm just aiming like I'm just gonna see if there's progress. Then maybe it's more fun to go live on a stream. And I'm talking different from you. You use your live streams in an interesting way, and you can probably tell us about that when you go live. You use it for content as well. This is a really smart move.
Well, I've only done that once, just recently, and because I just thought to myself, I mean, these, YouTubers are making these videos, on their channels, and
Yeah.
I was doing it on live stream, so I thought to myself, oh, I mean, why not do both? Because people rarely watch live streams after they're done, right? They just watch it while it's live, participating, and because it's a different sort of,
It's like in the
phenomenon.
moment.
It's in a moment, yeah, which is fun. But I mean, for me, that those things that you were talking about, I find that lots of these experiments that I've done and all of those different things have, it's all part of the evolution of sort of finding your voice and finding your audience in in a way, and just figuring out what you're good at, and all of those sort of things, because I've realized that when I do a content where I'm a little bit more just being, I mean, yeah, finding your voice is like being me, being sort of being a little bit not too serious, I guess, but
Yeah, I think that
even though at the same time,
resonates.
even though at the same time, of course, I'm trying to talk about some things. I'm not just joking around, but I'm just having fun.
Yeah, I think what I've seen from your videos, you're treating it because there's many channels out there that are of course similar, but no one is the same because no one is the same person. So like
Right.
they can watch, like, for example, Chris Stockman talk about, for example, Project Hail Mary, but then I watch him a lot, but he has a really specific not biased, but
Tone,
there's a
yeah.
lot of directors and movies that he will never really actually say what he feels about it. But then I go to your channel and I was like, man, how does Steve, no, not Steve, how does Icelandic
Steven.
Psycho think about Project Hail
I
Mary?
was Steven Eagle.
Because for me, I like read the book, listened to the audiobook, which was two different things. Like, I know reading and listening is a different thing, because like reading, it's in my mind and how I visualize things, and then when I listen, there's a guy reading it for me, and then I went to see the movie. And so I was like, how is my friend Steve Eagle going to like it? Does he even like it? And I thought to myself, he likes Ryan Gosling, but I'm interested to
Sure.
see, I'm interested to see if Ryan Gosling was living up to some type of a standard that you might have for him, because he is a very he does many different, he has been on like a crazy boom at the moment, and I hope he keeps on doing it. But then I was thinking, like, man, is the Icelandic Psycho going to find Rocky as interested as I find him? Because I've gone through book, audiobook,
Extremely, yeah.
and book, and then I was like, please, I was like watching your video and I was like, please at least say it's like a C or a B. I don't know. I'm not sure about your rating system, but then you were like, finally you found it really, really great, and I was like, yes.
Yeah, I give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, which
Yeah.
is, I mean, I don't go around giving films that all the time. So I mean, yeah, it was pretty great. I mean, especially films that I've seen in recent years have
Mm.
disappointed me in lots of ways. But I think I'm having hopes for for this year. So I've seen
I
two good
felt
films
this
now.
movie was like a movie. You go to the movie to see this movie.
Yeah,
Like,
it is. For no
it was a
doubt.
movie experience type of thing. Like you go
Yeah.
to the movie to see Avatar. You can watch it at
Absolutely,
home,
absolutely.
sure, but you know, there's
Yeah,
some
but I
movies
don't.
that are just kind of movies.
Yeah, I don't really care for Avatar though. I mean, it's just no.
Well, we
But I
don't
mean,
care
to sum
about
it up,
Avatar: The Last Airbender, the live action movie. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about
I
that.
just not for me. I mean, to sum it up, I mean about YouTube, it's sort of like when we're starting out. I mean, of course you can try out a few things and take some inspirations from a few things, but it's along the way you will find your voice. Is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
I think I've been, talking about that. I think I've been looking for my voice for too long, even though I've already
Yeah,
found it, but I'm not
long time
realizing
ago,
it.
buddy, long time.
Yeah, because there's this video I made in the forest here in the village where I live, and my camera was about to die, and I already drove to this forest to do this little vlog, and I was like, shit, I have perhaps 5 minutes, and I made it in 5 minutes. And then I went home to edit it, and I was just, wow, this was a really pure, normal, high quality type video that I just did, and I just pooped it out, and that video has always surprised me. I guess my mind wasn't able to do anything but just do the job, which was I was gonna do in this forest. I was like,
you gotta do a job.
I was like, please, no one walk into this forest and see me in a shirt talking to the camera, please.
Oh, please no, don't.
But vlogging is a thing that I would love to do more outside. And of course, I live in a small village where everyone knows everyone. So for me personally, it would be strange at first. But like when you go to like the Swan Lake of Reykjavik, you're probably not going to bump into anyone you know. And even if you do, you probably don't really care about it.
No, I don't anymore.
Yeah.
It's become sort of like this natural thing. And I mean, speaking of which, it's like speaking like in this sort of way, in front of my girlfriend when I was starting out, it felt a little bit kind of like awkward. But now it's like she's just in the sofa and I just start recording and I go into the moment much more
Yeah.
easily.
She's just a
it's
stand.
just sort of,
Like
I mean, it's I mean.
she's like for example, if I would go downstairs and ask my wife, here, hold the phone while I do. One second, I'm gonna go upstairs to put on a banana costume and I'm gonna do this like bit. She would do it, but I would never do the bit as if I was just alone at home doing the bit. But like, it's nice, like with yours. I'm not saying she is just a camera stand, but you just have to think about it like that. She is just the phone holder at the moment, but you feel the support. That's insanely important. Like
Yeah, it is. I mean,
you can't be talking like a video that you're going to upload, and then you see like behind the phone she's like this. It's better if she's like Jack Nicholson like this. We want to see that.
oh yeah.
So
No, but it's just become a thing that we do. So I mean,
Yeah.
let's just keep on going. Is what I'm saying. So I mean, we had some a few other topics to go over. Am I right?
yeah, before we go into those topics, I have one.
Yeah.
Would you think that she would like to do like if you would ever buy from Nexus like a big crazy box, and then you would do like an unboxing or an unboxing of a statue or whatever you collect? I collect way too much things. I'm just like a
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction. What do you call it? No, not the Pulp Fiction. I'm like a media type of guy. I just own like I like this game. I have a hat for it. I have a T-shirt for it, a poster, and now I also have some type of a statue. Like sometimes I just go crazy. I have pins
Yeah,
here for UFO 50. I have pins. Who has pins? So I always wondered, like, it would be cool. I'm not saying she's going to have to do it, but it would be really cool if she would like to be in a video with you where you talk about, because you already did it with your mom, and I found that to be great.
Yeah, that was a
it would
lot
be
of fun.
cool to talk to her about things that she likes. Like, does she only watch Indiana Jones because of her job? I want to know that.
Yeah, actually, no. Interestingly enough, but no, I don't think she would be
Yeah.
up for that. I mean,
It's
not
not for
everyone
everyone.
wants to like, whatever. Yeah, no, but but my mom, she's always, ready to, go do this and that. I mean, why not? So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, so we jump on to the next topic. Earthworm Jim on the Super Nintendo. I played it on the Sega Genesis, Sega Mega here in the Europe. We called it Sega Mega Drive, which I find personally better than Genesis. The Sega version, there's two kind of differences. The Super Nintendo version, like this, to your mind, this won't really matter, but it's just a fun fact because I'm a collector. The Super Nintendo version had better kind of movement. It was just more smooth. Today we say frames per second, but back then it was just RAM usage, because the games are, I take a picture on this camera and it's like 80 or more games like this, the space.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but on the Sega, the sound, they went all in on the sound, but maybe when you were like shooting or jumping in the game and there was like a lot of stuff happening, like you're jumping on top of the cow or something, you would see it was not like 60 frames per second or something. It was like 25, but the music was blasting and it was awesome. And then it was different on the Super Nintendo, like it was smooth and awesome, and the color schemes were maybe better, but then the music was like, wait a second, it's not as good as on the Sega. So it's funny back in the day how these types used to happen between those two consoles.
Okay, that's pretty fascinating. I mean, obviously, I only played the Super Nintendo one, and I just find it, a bit odd that I don't see this game pop up when people are talking. Oftentimes when people are talking about the best games, Super Nintendo games, this is number one for me. I mean, no question. I mean, this game is just epic in every sense of the word. Just
it's awesome.
The characters, the scenery. It's
and
awesome.
The sound effect. I love all the sound effects, like when he uses his, on the top of his like worm hat, you can like attach yourself to like a bar, and then the gun sound, like like everything is fun when you jump on the tires. And I gotta say, they have a very special thing going with the graphics. It's funny to say graphics, but these were graphics back in the day. Like now you would go like you put a little bit of a lens flare over there and like some color schemes, but they couldn't do that back then. So it's crazy how like just roaming around, well, roaming to the right, because it's not an open world game, but you go left to right, of course. But then it's one of the first games I ever played where you could also go way down. You fall into this pit. And now you're just in this big junkyard, and there's like different monsters now.
Yeah, I love that.
And you would go from like a bright area to like green, brown, darkest color with like fences, and you would fall down, and you're not just falling down. They also make a fence go like a layer, like when you're editing a video. The fence would go. He would go behind the fence, and you would see the pixels of him go down the fence, but it's just a filter. But like no games were doing these perspectives. Like you can see the background, and stuff in the background is moving. It's one of the first games I ever saw do that. Like everything was alive, and the humor on point. And
for sure,
I might have to stream this game at some point.
Yeah, I'm always implying, please play Spider-Man and Earthworm Jim. And interesting enough, there was this TV series on television when we were kids, so Earthworm Jim.
Yeah.
And so many years later, I realized that the television series came after the game. It was based on the game. I thought it was vice versa.
Yeah, it was. Was it in Iceland? Did we have an Icelandic version?
Oh yeah,
because I remember that.
Yeah, it was fantastic. But Dan Castellaneta actually does the voice of Earthworm Jim on the English version, the original version, which is fantastic.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I own it here. It's right there. Yeah.
Earthworm Jim is. I saw someone 3D printed. Oh yes, someone 3D printed a cool statue, like a big statue of him, colored and everything. He had the gun. Oh hey, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
had
it's
a
pretty
really.
cool. I mean,
Who was the sidekick? Wasn't the sidekick? There was a sidekick.
yeah, he's is he on the picture here? Yeah, he's
Because I remember like Sonic and Tails, and of course, but who was the sidekick of?
it's the dog character that sometimes when he's irritated enough he becomes this beast.
Ah,
Remember?
yeah. Now I remember.
And then there's the Green Goo
It
as well.
reminds me of Mask, like cartoonist, like
Yeah.
not Jim Carrey Mask, but like maybe the cartoon series The Mask. Like the
He turns
little
into
dog
certain
becomes
people.
angry and becomes like the like over the top cartoonish, which the show and the game is basically going for.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I never went really far in that game. I always just like the first level is just like classic, and they teach you really well about the gameplay mechanics just in the first level. Not a lot of games did that. For example, Batman on NES, the first level is like a tutorial how to do things, but they don't really tell you too much. The first enemy is just to teach you about throwing the boomerang. You can't get close to him, so how can I kill him without going close? So a lot of these games did that. And it's funny I talk about like Batman. This one was like full of no color, but used what they had. And then Earthworm Jim is just like all the colors you could probably do.
With color.
They went all in on it. Yeah,
Definitely.
I wanted to talk about
yeah.
a topic here, like a little bit of a personal, because like we talk about games and movies, but like here's one that I was kind of thinking when we were planning this, because this is actually, because we've been talking about tutorials, and I wrote here in my notes, no one teaches you this specific, like there's no tutorial for what I'm about to tell you. Like, as you know, and I've probably told you this a billion times, is like, when I was small, I was taken from my small village and taken to the city. And it's a bigger shock than anyone can really realize. You can't just go from 100 people to there's more people in your class than in your entire village type of a shock. And seeing traffic lights for the first time and just, wow, this building has 3 floors, like someone lives above me and next to me, like I didn't even have that. So unfortunately that is how that went, and I was just in like total shock because my world was just upside down, and now I'm in this city, even though it was just Kópavogur, just this small little area of Kópavogur, the Cope city, Kópavogur, like Kópavogur is like where we grew up. In the capital of Iceland, which is, it's not the capital, but it's just it's like
close,
it's like sections of the capital. But like I remember I went to like this shop that we grew up basically in called Snelland Video.
Where you could rent movies and stuff.
And get a hot dog and cheeseburgers and
video games also, and just everything.
Everything. It was just like a heaven, because like I don't know what, like, sure, we had things to do, but what would we do really if it wasn't for this little place that we would hang out also? It was a huge part of our childhood. But like what I'm trying to say is like I came to the big city in huge shock, and no one teaches anyone how to find a friend. How do you find a new friend? Like you were the first new friend, and you were the first friend I had like in a new environment, because now I left all my friends behind unwillingly 7 hours away, and I'm probably not really gonna meet them for a long time, because when am I gonna go back to the east, which rarely happened really. So you were the first like piece of like my life starting again, and I was like scared, like what the fuck's going on. And then I don't know, I remember this really well. I don't know if you remember it, but I feel like I was playing around for some reason. I was just either walking around or just playing by myself somewhere around the kindergarten area.
That's right.
Not that I was like in kindergarten level, but there was just some cool shit in that kindergarten. I was just checking it out, and
Yeah,
just
remember.
imagine this. Like, I just go out. I could have stayed in my house playing video games or gone to the shop. And I think this is a really special moment in time. If I wasn't in that kindergarten messing around, and you were not messing around with whatever you were doing that day, I would have not met you first. And that's a huge thing. If I would have met you like you were my 7th friend, we would have probably been great friends through life, but you would have probably not hit as hard as, like, you know, a true friend if I would have met like Ole first, for example. And Ole probably would have not have maybe accepted me. I'm like, hey, I found this guy. He had like one eye. There was this crazy guy I saw. He had one eye. So I just didn't know how to make a friend, or I was just trying to impress you. And how can I impress you? I'm just gonna tell you like a big lie to make myself.
Yeah, you told me.
You know.
I remember this very vividly. Yeah, like you said, you were playing around the kindergarten, and I was just like doing my thing, you know, walking around the schoolyard, and just like, hey, who are you? You know, hello, you know, stuff like that.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And you told me that you were like new in town, the new kid in town. And we talked a bit, and we were walking, you know, just, you know, through the street, and I remember, you know, so well that you told me a story about this guy from your town. You were telling me about your small town, and this guy, this like sailor type character with like tattoos and like bones out of his arms, and just like
one eye.
Like, okay. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, okay, I see where
this kid is fucking nuts.
Yeah, and you kept on doing these things, of course, you know, in when we were hanging around, you know, me and you and the boys, and you were telling these like exaggerated stories, like sort of like the big fish sort of things. You were telling us stories about something that happened, but you were exaggerating it, and I was always the only one that was like calling you out on it. And you got so upset about it at one point that you ringed the bell at my house, and I wasn't home, and my mom picked up, and you came, you know, like crying, upset, and she was like, Birkir, what's wrong? And you're like, I have this like fantastic story that I want to tell the boys, but I know Stefan's going to be like, no, you're lying. And then she was like, oh.
I went to space. I was on the moon. What the fuck?
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, it was frustrating for you that I was always calling you out. So I mean, you would tell stories about this like big spider that you found like on the roof. I mean, you might have found like a spider, but
but it wasn't that big, you know. I think I was just trying to always impress. I'm not sure. Maybe there's some psychological thing about like why, like when you're even smaller as a kid, you would go home and lie to like your mom or some friend. Like I was like I ate a whole pizza today at kindergarten, and there was not even a pizza like at that day. But your mom was like, "Oh, really? You ate? That's cool." Crazy kid, you know. It was just basically you were giving me that like that type of thing. But like I remember that fish, and now not too long ago, our friend Martin was like sent us a link, at least in the chat that we have on Messenger. He was like, "Oh my God, Birkir was right. There are these eels in that river." And I remember I saw this eel, and I swear it was maybe this big, just a tiny eel. But for me, it was like, holy shit. There's a fucking fish in this river. And this is the most stupid thing I ever did. Like, I took it out of the river. I put it on the hey, big fish. I took the eel, and I put it on, instead of having it in the water, I took it up and I put it on the ground. And then I ran to you, and I think it was you. I feel like yeah, it was you and Ingi. I remember Ingi was with us. Like
really?
Ingi Small. Ingi and Ole and probably Martin, because he remembers this. And we ran down there, and the fish was gone. There's so many reasons how that fish could be gone, but he's not in that river because I took him out of the river and just put him on the grass. A dog could have gotten him, some random guy probably. I remember there was a guy there also not like a fish guy with one eye or a hook or bone sticking out, but there was a guy there, and he was impressed that I was holding this fish. He has no reason to take the fish, but like, I remember I was just so excited. And when the fish wasn't there, I was just, because this was like true, but I exaggerated the length and probably how big it was, and now it wasn't there. And I remember it like, because everything was true in some level, but now it just looked like I was just crazy. And I was so sad, and just like it annihilated me. And then you all guys were like laughing, but you were not you were not laughing like in a bad way. This was a ridiculous, silly thing, and we ran like for 5 minutes to see a fish that isn't even there. So yeah, there was many moments like this that I remember.
Yeah, childhood, man. Like I said, the simplicity of it, like running to the lake to see if there's a big fish there.
Yeah, and when we went to like play laser tag in the forest, playing all the Lord of the Rings games that we did. And it was easy for me because I moved to the city when like the first Fellowship of the Ring was about to come out, basically. And I didn't have a chance to like play Lord of the Rings games outside, playing as Legolas or whatever. Because like my surroundings in the east side of Iceland, where I'm from, was basically just, I'm not saying it's Middle Earth, but there's mountains and forests and trees and rivers. Like the environment around me was just like somewhere else. But here I'm surrounded by buildings, and I had to somehow pretend around cars. Like I'm Legolas, but there's cars around me and people. But then we found that forest, that black forest there, and we used to play it all the time because there was like a little bit of escape.
Yeah, I felt like, I was going into Hobbiton in a way. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. But I think, like talking about earlier about like tutorial in real life, like no one teaches you how to make a new friend. And like, for example, with my daughter now, she's 2, going to be 3 soon. I always think to myself, like, yeah, she has friends now in kindergarten age. And of course, she really likes his friends. But like, if let's say we would move, I would not really feel just as a difficult choice as a parent to take, because I had this just traumatic experience as a kid, to move when I was 8 years old, to move from everything I've known, going into something way too big for my mind to even fathom. But here I have like a chance, like if we would move, sure, of course, she will ask about these couple of friends that she has, that she likes them a lot, and it's her friends. But 2 years old, 3 years old, I like that more than having to have to move when she's older, and then I'm just gonna see myself in my decision of having to have to take her from basically similar situation that had to do to me, and then I have to just kind of like become my parents. My parents, of course, they had to move. My village was just about to just completely die. It doesn't have a bank. There's basically no jobs. I didn't see that. I just saw like what I grew up with, this pearl.
Right.
So like, it's crazy to go into a new place. And I just gotta say, I was like insanely lucky to meet you first. Like, you were able to turn my like perspective of like, this is going to be okay. There's a lot of things after that. Like, we were bullied. Of course, life kicked us in the fucking nuts, but like it was okay, because after our horrible day at school, we would just go home to you, play with Yoda Lego figure and make a movie, or go on SingStar, fucking SingStar.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun. We did that thing where the Duran Duran in the Hungry
Oh my
Wolf.
god.
We recorded that over and over again.
I did like a remake. I think I sent you like a remake.
Yeah, you did.
Like,
yeah, that was a lot of fun. Now,
stuff like this.
we also used to draw a lot. We used to make these comics.
Yeah.
And and I also used to do it like before I went to sleep all the time back in the days. It's sort of like to calm myself in a way before I went to sleep. At least I think that's sort of what I did back in the days. And yeah,
Um,
I sort of I miss that in a way because we were doing. I mean, we're doing a different kind of creation than we're doing now.
we
But
were
I mean, I guess
basically
it's
making a screenplay,
yeah, which is interesting.
shot by
It's an
shot.
interesting yeah, it's an interesting evolution from this to. I mean, yeah, from that to this, and
Mm.
yeah, we were doing, and it was so fun to show each other, your own work, and it's sort of like what we're doing now in a way. So it's fun.
Like when I recorded that live stream advertisement that went for like 9 minutes, I like go outside, I play a tourist, I find like this mysterious black book under a rock. Like I drew it, like very quick and badly. Like I have been learning to draw. I mean, drawing has been a part of me since forever. And actually, tomorrow I'm going on a drawing course. So drawing has
Wow.
been a part of me, but like drawing also has been a part of like when I'm like preparing for the video. That has to be like, of course, I have a script. I'm not sure if you write too much about how you do your videos, but I always like to, like when I made the future of Leikjarinn video, I was like making fun of people on Facebook. That because I'm a part of so many groups, and I got some like not haters, but like just idiots in the comment section sometimes
Yeah.
on Facebook, and I was able to give them. They're never gonna see the video, but I was able to express a little bit of like, yeah, these are these people. Like when I turn around and I have the gun and I point at this guy wearing a blue shirt and he's scrolling on Facebook, that's the haters, and no one would really catch that but me, of course. But like stuff like that, I planned and I drew it like scene by scene, like
Yeah,
top
yeah,
view,
absolutely.
all that stuff.
That's that's what I used to do back in the days. Also, in the comics, I used to, I mean, draw me and my, some of my best friends, including you, and up against, some of our enemies.
Yeah,
It's a lot
yeah.
of fun.
It's kind of what I'm doing. There's a section, guys, I am a writer. I've written 3 chapters. So there's one like a chapter
right,
that is basically completely done, and I'm doing like a little bit of it was a lot of fun like writing that chapter, the Thunder Shadow. It's the whole chapter is not the based, but it's based on us, the friend group that we
Yeah,
have,
I
and
came up
your
with that name,
bike.
you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your
my
bike.
bike,
Your
Thunder
bike
Shadow.
is the Thunder Shadow in that chapter.
Yeah, it was such fun because it looked like a like a motor
Yeah.
bike, but it was.
I never
It's
forget when I saw it for the first time. I was like, "Holy shit!" And like I was trying to describe the feeling when you go on it. It's just a bike. It's just a bike that looks like a motorbike. But like
Yeah.
when you ride it, there was like this cool feeling because it's kind of like you're on a motorbike, right? So I try to describe that in this chapter, and I found it so fun to write this chapter. But then there's a section where us meet these damn bullies in the forest, and they come and they destroy your bike, and it's basically me saying like they destroyed a little bit of a part of you, because there is, we know, both of us, there's a couple of moments at school that maybe didn't destroy you, but it really still is there somewhere in your soul because it was just traumatizing, right? The gym class accident and all that stuff.
The gym class accident.
And-
Yeah, that is the one that's the first thing that I thought
Yeah.
about. So I mean, imagine
I had that in mind when I was writing this part. When they're destroying the bike, they are just destroying so much about you because you were afraid to even show us the bike. And that is me taking the fish thing. Like I was afraid to show you. Well, I wasn't afraid to show you the fish, but I'm also taking this feeling I had when the fish wasn't there. I was trying to explain that fear in your character showing us the bike. Like, how are we gonna react to this stupid looking bike that looks like a damn motorcycle? And you might just think that, but then us being boys being boys, we start to find this to be insanely cool. And Ole is on the bike, and he's like, Thunder Shadow, and it's like all of a sudden it's awesome, and we have this beautiful moment together. And then these fucking guys come up, the bullies, and they are all based on real dudes. I didn't even hide the names. Like, they're not gonna read this book or listen to it. So yeah, There
Yeah, fun times.
fun
Yeah.
times at school.
Um,
But yeah, talking about the drawing, we had this funny rivalry. It was me and my friend Kitty. We made
I
a
love
comic book, like not a team, like a fake publishing company. And we would draw, like I would usually draw and he would do the story. And this all started because we were there was just the first ever copy of Captain Underpants or Captain
Yeah, I knew you were gonna
Overbrook.
say that.
And we were basically
Yeah,
just taking that, you know.
Yeah, because one of those guys actually did, you know, the drawings,
Yeah,
you know, the ones.
one was better at the story and one was better at the drawing. I was doing that. Kitty also became, I'm not saying he was good at drawing and I'm not saying I was good at drawing, but like,
Yeah,
you
you
know,
were, man. You were.
we were, I saw, like, he just drew like 2 lines and couple of lines. That's a tree. Well, I was like, I drew a tree and a squirrel in a hole. The squirrel in the hole didn't have to be there, but I just kind of did things a little bit different. So I just kind of did the drawing and Kitty didn't. But then you guys were like, we have a drawing company as well.
Yeah,
You can tell us maybe a little bit about that, you damn rivals.
Yeah, so I mean, like I mentioned, you know, childhood, and you had like way too many, you know, time on your hands, and
Yeah.
and it was summertime, and we did this, you know, another company that was called like So, and yeah, and so we were trying to make you say like so. I mean, like
Yeah.
as in like so what, you know. So we were just, like saying things you know, to make you say that, and once you said it, we were like, yes, that's right, damn straight, it is so.
And I remember you got us so hard. We were talking or just kind of like bantering a little bit in front of my house, like the where I lived.
That's right.
And
Yeah, that's right.
I think that might be the first time when the biggest so thing happened, and I remember being so shocked because like, oh my god, I said it. Like now they have the upper hand. I don't even know what that means. Like what upper hand did you really have? But when you're a small like kid, this was a huge deal. And then I went to school next day. I'm like, how am I gonna get these guys? What can we do? Can we sell more comics? Or like this was such a stupid thing.
Right, it's so weird because I mean we were all friends, but
yeah,
all of a sudden we decided not to be friends. You know, just
to shake things up, because like we were always gonna be friends.
Up, you know.
But I always found this to be also really strange because there was always us 4. I'm not saying Kitty was always with us, but like this was a time where like Inky was just kind of randomly with us. Like Inky Small, Inky Tiny Ink. Like he was just kind of there was this. I'm not saying he wasn't bullying us, but like before, but he was in that friend group, like the group that we were never even want to be in, even if we were invited. So here he is like being just this is just a charming little childhood moment. He's like, oh, these guys are actually doing this cool shit that this group would never do comics. I'm gonna hang out with them. And this is kind of back in the day. Sometimes we would just hang out, the group. And then sometimes we would get just a random extra guy and he would hang out with us for like maybe 5 days. And then he would never really hang with us again because he has already, you know, you had this cool movie that he wanted to see, or you always got pizza or something at your house, and he just kind of randomly became our friends for that reason, right?
I mean, the video game thing, right? I mean, for example, when I got Return of the King, you know, me and Kitty weren't really talking, but all of a sudden he was coming over and he was like, you know, being really sneaky about it. It's like starting to read something that I had in my room, and I was like, so what do you want to do? And he was like, I don't know, you tell me. And I was like, yeah, I know what you want to do.
I know what you want to do, you bastard.
So he was like trying to make me feel like he was not there just to play the game, because obviously he was. Yeah, good times, man. Good times.
I keep on thinking, like, we were at the perfect age to do the sketch in the city and all the sketches, and then we randomly got more members that just kind of wanted to do this also, and some of them were, I'm not saying you have to be top tier actor for this, but some of them were just kind of there to goof, and we were all goofing around, but we were also I can't say we're taking this too seriously, but we were just kind of doing this first. So if you're gonna join us, then you're just gonna have to kind of also kind of try to do something, right? So sometimes we got people that were just like wanted to randomly do shit with us, and then we never saw them again. But then there were some guys that stick around, and they were in the new intro, and you know, like there was a couple of guys that joined the intro and everything.
I remember when we were like first recording, and we would just like do like a scene, and then the camera like back and forth. But then I did this sketch in the 8th grade for Stelpurnar, and then I learned the fact that they would like record a scene, and it would be recorded on these like specific person at a time, you know, to get, you know, some, you know, different angles and different facial expression, and then it would be cut all together. So that is something that I learned, and to do like different angles, and I also learned that so many things came alive in the editing room.
Yeah.
That we didn't plan for when we were like recording, like some things like me and you were doing a scene, and I would insert like an awkward silence into the moment just from editing, which wasn't, you know, originally planned,
just magic of post, like behind the scenes.
And this is sort of when I became like hooked on just editing, and it's been a thing that stayed with me since, you know, 14 years old. I love editing, man.
I did a live stream where I wanted to edit a video live on stream. I'm not saying a lot of crazy editing or special effects or explosions, but there was like a lot of game footage and a lot of me on screen, and I had to remember me on screen talking like this, and then off screen game footage is now on the screen. And I was just trying to learn. This was my first time basically, and I wanted to live stream my first time learning Adobe Premiere. And there was one, I was doing it for months, just like doing some videos, but then there was one thing I never knew about. There's this small box in the left corner of the editing program where I can just drag a clip, put it up there, cut the exact part that I want, and then just drag that specific part to the timeline. And that made it like quick as hell to make things, because now it was like a video game for me. I had to think about it as a video game, because I didn't find editing really fun, even though I've done hours. I think my longest ever editing session was like 6 hours, because I just kind of had to get this out of me while I had the flow. It was like 3 a.m. I was finally done, and then I had to upload and all that. But I learned that I had to treat editing as a video game. Like, that part has to be fun too, because that is where it was fun filming, but the movie will never be anything, or the video or whatever it is. It can't be anything without the editing part. So you know,
that's right.
That's the main thing. So I find it fun. I'm not crazy good at it, but like, it's enough for what I want to do right now. And for Let's Plays, it's just me playing a game, basically one take, unless something happens. And then it's just an intro, video game, outro. But like a podcast, like when we are talking about your bike or a Spider-Man game or anything we have talked about that is like maybe more important to us than other things, you know, I'll put it on screen. I'll put it on screen after the fact. When I'm doing a review of a video game, it might be a little bit different from you, how you do. It's not different, because my footage is just the video game footage, and your footage is from a movie or a TV show. But I always, and I have to stop this, I always go over the top. I plan it like I'm doing a movie. I'm just doing a review.
Right, I know.
That's
how your mind works.
Like an 8-minute review of, maybe I'm just doing a review of Batman. I don't have to go and buy a Batman suit to do a 6-second clip that is like me doing like where is she? Like, I don't have to do it, but it's just, I have to have it in there. I have to have this bit, you know.
I know what you mean. I mean, sometimes something pops into my head, which, you know, I all of a sudden I just need to do for this video. I need to go to a specific place, and this just needs to be in the video just to, you know, elevate it a bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, editing for me, like I said, it's very like magical, and I'm very interested to hear what you think about my latest video, considering your editing styles and those things that you were talking about in
I
your
haven't seen the video. You posted a video today, right? Or last
yeah
night?
top
To
10
top 10.
10 underrated movies that don't get talked about anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the last video I saw was on Project Hail Mary. And then
yeah, okay,
before I saw that, I saw when you were vlogging outside, and then I was like going through a couple of videos. But like
yeah, yeah.
with Project Hail Mary, it was more personal to me. Like, how is he gonna? I hope you liked the movie, because I hadn't even seen it at this point, but I didn't mind watching the review because, well, of course the movie was different, but in way less ways than people think. But then there's one thing I notice right away, and the only thing I was trying to like tell you just from my view, because it's always nice to hear, not necessarily advice, but just hear from someone that is watching your video, because you have recorded it, you have edited the video, you have spent too much time with the video when it's uploaded. You don't see
That's
it
right.
how it is. So when someone sees it for the first time, he's just seeing it for the first time. He doesn't know that part where you clipped might be 5 hours later. You went to the movie theater or you went swimming, and then you came home and you just kind of have the same lighting, right? No one is gonna see that. So
Exactly that, yeah.
so like what I like the most about when you're doing, like right now we're just talking, but then there's a moment that both of us, we can just turn into it right away, which is this part. I'm looking into the lens, and I'm not just looking at the camera. And maybe you see this too, when I'm doing this, I am imagining in my head how, like when you're done recording, you can see what you did. You can see yourself on screen. You can't do it while you're looking at the camera, of course. But I am seeing that a little bit in my brain. Like I know the reach of my hands. Like I know I talk with my hands, so I've already set up the camera to like not clip my hands, stuff like that. So what I'm trying to say is, like, maybe I'm overthinking this, but like I always try to imagine how this is looking to someone that is watching the video. I can see it in editing, but I also try to think about it while I'm watching. So what I notice when you do it, when you're talking to the camera, the second you start to, you have two versions that you maybe don't know about in the videos. You have you knowing that you're talking to a camera, and you know this is a video, and you know you're going to edit it, and you know you're going to upload it. But then something passionate happens. You're talking about a scene or characters that you like the chemistry between them in Project Hail Mary. The first time you mentioned the chemistry, you're not really looking at the camera anymore. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You are reliving it, and you are really good at telling us that.
In my mind.
Like you look away from the camera, and you are just, I don't even think you're even trying to express this, because you are just how you are. So when you're telling us about a scene or a move that you like your top 10 lists, you might have this planned, but once the camera is rolling, you just kind of have, you're just basically a guy in your room with a background. You just gotta have to do what you can do with what you have. But then
That's how it is.
It's just basically your charisma is going through. It goes through and this is, you can think about it, you can read it in the comment section, but as someone that watches the video, I can just tell you, like, you have this, there's moments in your videos where you are just in it. Like, you're in this, like, this can't be edited, this can't be really taught, because this is just your real passion for the movie or the TV show or whatever it is. It just goes,
exactly,
it just goes through.
I hadn't really thought of it that way. I mean, it's exactly right. I know exactly what you're talking about. So I mean,
and I like the outro. It's really important to have a quotable outro.
It just came to me. I mean,
is there anything behind that outro?
I think that just came on the spot. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, at least, you know, it came on the same day that I started doing these videos on physical media. Like physical media matters. Like, you know, it's better than streaming. I did a video on that, and
Mm.
you know, that line just came to me on that day. Like, keep your movies close and your physical media closer.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah,
It's like,
it's actually,
I might say, see you later, alligator. And
yeah, I mean,
it
something
doesn't
like
hit
that.
as
I mean,
hard, of
it's
course. But
I'm pretty proud of that one. You know, coming up with that on my, you know, on my own, because, you know, there's so many variations of how people start you know, a video and how they end a video, and
yeah,
you just think to yourself, like, how can I, you know, do something that's new and you know,
quotable.
how can I, yeah,
Can I be a
quotable, how can I
quote?
think? And then sometimes just something beautiful like that just happens, you know, comes to your mind all of a sudden, and
Becomes a
just
part of your channel without you even
yeah, because
knowing it. Like I
yeah,
always
so
like when I'm doing Leikjarinn in Icelandic, which is a really different thing when I do English Leikjarinn. Like Icelandic Leikjarinn is more just hits home, and it's like Iceland, and I have different audiences, and I'm like always like if I would say it in English, it's like hey Leikjarinn here, and that like hi Leikjarinn here. It's basically, I was thinking, like, I don't know why, but I was thinking about the old show on TV that we just basically grew up watching, you know, Avi, Grandpa. He like
yeah,
he like
I love that.
there's this song in the show. He talks about movies, and he always started his show like hello, Grandpa here, and I was like, I'm gonna try to take that somehow to Leikjarinn. Like, hey guys, it's me.
Actually, funny you mention that, because I think that a part of, you know, my intro sometimes is like, maybe I'm just like, let's say I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. He used to do that.
Yeah, that comes from that.
He
You know,
used to open like a
oh,
sack, or like, I was just looking at my cool new toys I have. I'm gonna show you them.
yeah, like
Yeah.
welcome, man. I didn't see that. You know, something like that. You know, it's just like,
And it's
some variations of that.
it is also, you can even make it funny. Like if there's a movie that comes out, like a remake of a movie, and the remake is horrible, but your video is about a completely different movie, you can still start the movie like you're holding like the original, and that one is good, and people just instantly know what you mean. You can, like, let's say this game is this game is horrible, but like the game that just came out is like great. Let's just reverse it. And and my intro to my video might be like, you know, there's a lot of bad things in this world, but nothing is as bad as this. And just me showing this, some people watching will know this. Some people might not get this, but they might get it later when they see like the bad Batman movie, and I'm holding like the good Batman movie. And this is just the intro. And I have like an intro. You have an intro, like when you're walking down the stairs and you're in the store, and you this is really important to have something like this. And for me, I just have an intro, like a generic like Leikjarinn intro, but I always wanted to have my own, like, taking, because all the retro or just game reviewers I've ever watched always have this cool intro where it's like it's the title of your channel, but they're also looking in their shelves, which is the heart of the channel, the shelves. You have movies, I have games, and I always wanted to do it somehow like that. Did you plan it, or is it just random footage, or is it fake footage? Because there's also, you can make fake, like, what I mean by fake is like, you have not put this scene in an episode. It's a fake scene, like this. This is not a clip from an episode. You made it like 5 minutes ago, but it looks like it's from, but like let's say you made an intro for your channel, but you've never made a video before that first video. So how are these clips in the intro if you have never made those videos, right?
I know what you mean, but they are all from
videos. Yeah.
And one of them, you know, the scene with the toys out in the woods.
Yeah.
That was actually you know, something that I did for, because I applied for film school, and that was one of the projects that I did to, you know, apply there, and didn't get through. I mean, just, you know, the bastards. I mean, look at the beautiness.
They're Marvel, the DC haters.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's all something from something that I have on my channel. And speaking of which, I actually didn't include it in my latest video. I guess I didn't want to move away from like the topic into the intro and into just to try to keep people on edge, to keep people watching. I don't know, but I do love that intro though. I mean, I'll definitely keep it around.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my phone is it's
About to
steadily.
die.
Yeah, it's going to do it sometime. It's just
Yeah,
just
I
some
also
heads up.
had a timer. Like, we're both
Yeah.
in phone trouble. Your phone is dying. My phone is not even in the room, and I have a timer on the phone. My phone is downstairs, so I had a timer. I even forgot to tell you, like, how much time do you have? Because I sadly have, like, I could do an 8-hour podcast.
Right.
And
Yeah, you
there's a
mentioned
friend
that.
of mine. His name is Matt Chalik. He's a voice actor. He did the voice reading with a chapter where I did the Thunder Shadow, and we were like, he was like, yeah, I have 50 minutes. Like, that's enough time, baby. And then we talked for 4 hours, and he was late to whatever he was gonna do. But we just had so much fun talking. So, but yeah, I
That's how it
usually
is.
for my guests I have some type of stop me button, because as you know, I can talk forever. I could do a live stream with just me, and I
Yeah.
have done
I
it.
remember.
I called it a
I
self cast because it was
yeah.
just me. I didn't even have a
Oh,
guest.
I believe you. I mean, I remember when we met after maybe a year or something, and there were a few of us, and you were telling us stories about this vacation that you went on to. And you were just like talking and talking and talking, and nobody else really
Yeah.
got through. And then all of a sudden you told us like, oh yeah, and that was a 4-day vacation. And I was like, 4-day vacation? It sounded like a whole month.
Yeah. I think it's just because I'm so glad when I meet you guys, because like, you guys might meet here and there, or maybe not that often, but still, like, it's just a treat for me when I meet you guys finally. So I'm
Yeah,
always
no,
just like, I explode with things, and then of course I'm just my I blame it on I have a disease. ADHD, double D, triple D.
yeah, whatever it is, man, you're always a treat. So
But I wanna, before we end, there is one more question. Would you like, do you have, because I obviously have some type of a plan, and I have planned for my channel and streams for years, but now I have this, like, down to earth realistic plan. I'm just gonna be myself. I'm not gonna make a video like I'm making a video for a video that will make 1 million views. Like, I always put this random idiotic pressure on myself. Maybe I'm just afraid. But, like, do you have a plan? Like, right now, I can just tell anyone, like, well, watching and listening, because this is on Spotify and stuff
sure.
as well. So
Yeah.
I did a stream, and Steven Eagle came on the stream, and I was like, hey, the only thing that I would like to see as a viewer on your channel is just a little bit different camera angle. And you can see right now, mine is just like, there's some spinny things in the background or whatever. It's just like my background is maybe not that interesting, but here you can see a slice of his life behind him. You can see, like, maybe he really loves, and I know that you do really love, that Indiana Jones set over there, and there's I can see Blade Runner and Lord of the Rings right there. I know when you place things on your shelf, it's on purpose. You have eye candy that you want to show. I have it as well.
That's right.
So I have a bunch of places on. I have an insane amount of places on 2 games, but there's like 19 FIFA games in the background. But I just put all the cool shit in the front, and the background, it's just to kind of hold the, it's a glue. Like, you're never going to see those FIFA games,
glue,
right?
That's right. Yeah, but my plan is just sort of like to keep going. I mean, there's this one movie that this guy on YouTube requested me to review. I requested him to do something, and he was like, okay, but I want a review of this movie here. And I was like, hey, okay, buddy, sure. It's like an old movie from the 40s, and so I'm going to look it up, watch it, and make a review of that. That's probably what I'm going to what I'm gonna do next, and then after that, who knows? It's sort of just like happens, and so that's just the plan. It's just to keep on rocking and rolling, yeah, buddy.
And I
that's how
think
it
it's
is.
really
So,
cool. Like you might have some plan or top 10 list or top five list or just a single review of a movie. But now you are in the YouTube universe, as we call it, and now
well, yeah,
you're making like friends a little bit, and then he might have a
that's
movie that
right.
you will never have ever seen in your life, and you would never really see it. But he is about to like,
That's
he's gonna like, hey, what's this movie? And you're gonna see it, and maybe you will really goddamn like this movie a lot, and reverse for him, like the movie that you're gonna send him, he might like it as well. So now your channel is good, just like it's on your level, but now you're joining what YouTube is about, which is about sharing. And
yeah,
now
it's the sharing, caring, the
yeah,
community. I love it.
now you're
I
doing
love
like
the
the
community.
content, you're doing like the content creator collab thing, which is a powerful stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely,
We're
man,
doing it
absolutely.
right
And of
now.
course, yes, that's we're doing it right now. And of course, Green Book is something that I will definitely have to look into. And I've already imagined the intro to that video. It's like, well, this friend of mine has been requesting this video, and then I would like do like boom, boom, boom from like scenes like from like when you've written it, and maybe take some. Clip from your stream when you're like, hey, did you hear? Green Book is gonna be reviewed by the IcelandicPsycho. Something like that. I mean, I don't know exactly how it's gonna come out, but I mean, I've already imagined that in my.
I
in my head,
actually,
so.
it popped into my head right now. This is how my brain works, guys. Ready? I have a nice little scene. All you have to do is to go to Pennin or Amundsen or whatever, and just find like a notebook, just something green, just a green book, and you can make
Right.
you can make Ylva like put it into the through the door or onto the door or whatever,
Yeah.
and then you're like, what the? Now this is seriously becoming stalking, and like green book, and doesn't have to be written anything in it, or maybe you can write on the page, like you open it and it's like, please review this movie. P.S. L.
Yeah, I mean,
your secret admirer L or something.
yeah, or maybe in
funny.
my post box it's like actually
Yeah, in
the
the
copy
post
of the
box.
movie, and it's like, please review this movie like, straight away for Leikjarinn,
Urgent, please.
Urgent.
Yeah, so that would be funny. Like stuff like this. Me and Stefan, we just
Urgent,
work
yeah.
like this. This is just how we did the
great.
sketch in the city. We planned stuff, but then we were out in the wild. I'm like, how about I do a backflip?
And things just happen, yeah.
And I do a
But
backflip.
so my phone is like 2%. So I mean, I guess
I want to see what
I'll
happens
have
when
to-
it dies. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, well,
We don't
we'll
wanna-
see. But,
We don't want to see that.
just for people to know that, yeah, we'll have to wrap this up. I assume.
Oh,
It's
definitely,
been a lot
definitely.
of
So,
fun.
all my guests at the end of my like podcasts, are you like, I call it a plug, or just like let people know about you, because you introduced yourself in the beginning of the podcast, and that just does that much, because now people have gotten to know you on my side, and even more on your side, because now you're talking to like an old friend, and this is stuff you don't maybe share like in a video or a vlog. So what can you say at the end here about, like, you already said you have a little bit of a idea for the future of your channel, but do you have anything that you just kind of want to talk about, like a pluggy plug?
A plug?
Yeah, like you've already told us about like your ideas for the channel, but do you have like, there's a movie coming out that you're like really planning on, like a video that you want to like do differently, or is there something coming up that you might kind of be planning?
Of course, I mean, my Christopher Lee Dracula video is my most popular video on my channel, so I have so many things planned for next Halloween, just, because I guess, horror films and stuff like that is, I mean, something that's really trending, and just like around the Halloween season, I want to do something like very very special. I have like this Halloween month on my channel kind of vibes, and then of course I want to do like an Icelandic Psycho anniversary and just go over the videos that I've made and just like sort
Yeah.
of like do a reminiscence of the things, how things have evolved, and just have fun. Like I said, just keep going and have fun. That's how it is.
I would have two, like, anniversary is a great idea because it actually means more to anyone that you can just talking like personally. Like I saw this one live stream of a guy that I love to watch, and he just barely showed a little bit behind the scenes how he made a video that I already seen. I was like, oh, that's how he did it. And it would be really cool for you in the future to watch old you, like, oh man, look at the camera placement, oh god. Or
Actually, right, that's cool because I actually have some videos from before I started this channel that are not on YouTube, but I mean I could upload them and with a title like my first attempt at something, and
and then people that watch your channel and they're thinking to do this as well. It's really important to see that. It's really important.
So I mean, anyways, I have so many ideas in my head, and I've had them for so long. And this is a channel that I've been meaning to do for such a long time. Just the only person that's been holding me back is just myself. So I mean, it's definitely, it's definitely overdue. So I mean, it's a lot of fun. So we'll just keep on rocking and rolling.
Will you do a mansion tour?
Well, I mean, I doubt it, but I guess that's not really relevant.
If you're gonna do a tour, you can make it funny. You can dress up like a robber, break in, and like, all right, guys, here's my first breaking tour. Let's take a look at this mansion. You're like, wow, but of course, you're not really breaking in. But they don't know that, the power of editing. So,
yeah, that's how it is.
Steve Eagle, Icelandic Psycho, thank you so much for joining my podcast.
Lake.
If I sound like, if I'm more on it than usual, it's just I drove 5 hours across fjords and country and lakes and rivers.
Yeah, just to do this podcast with
and back, and here I am. So maybe it's this caffeine, probably.
Yeah, here and back again by Birkir Fannar, by Bókfinn.
Now that's a prop I would love to own. I would love to own that book.
Of course, what a story! What a story, Mark!
What a story, Mark! Hey, Mark! Oh man, will you review?
Well, hi, Mark.
You're gonna have to review that movie, right? It's a famous thing to review.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's not much more to be said, but wow, what an experience of a film, man! Love it.
Man. Well, thank you guys for watching. So can I say, like, I'm back, guys, for the 11th time, I guess. But like, if I am back, this is more me trying to just kind of figure out what I want to do, because honestly, it is a blessing in disguise that I am not streaming in front of hundreds of people or doing a YouTube video. Of course, it's nice, the numbers, sure, yes, but when the pressure is off, the creativity rejoices. That's not a word. It's a word, but doesn't fit. Begins. No, the creativity creates. I'm gonna stop now before your phone dies. See you guys. Check out Icelandic Psycho on YouTube. And Íslenska. Woo! Hey, whoa, that's like a komin á skjáin hjá mér. That's a rap.
Heldur betur, maður. Vá, þetta var ekki. Já, ég ætlum að sjá hvað er mikið eftir símanum hérna.
Heldur Pétur.
Ég get ekki séð það eins og það er bara eitthvað svona.
It's that low.
Það stóð allavega 5% sko upp á skjánum hjá mér.
Já, iPhone ætti að sponsora mig. Ég var að testa hérna the battery life.
Já, the battery life of the iPhone. Hvernig gengur þetta hérna hjá mér á túbunni?
Ég hef búin að plana, ef þú myndi orða ég ætla að gera. Did Icelandic Psycho just hang up on me? Did he hang up on me? God damn it. Again, he did it again.
He did it again. Jú, með 2 ný komment hérna og 1 nýtt like og
það var
nýja subscriber, já.
Það kom hérna einn í Twitch sem er I filled some pillowcases with rocks. This will simulate gravel sitting on my face. Old lemon juice to mimic the discharge to drown me while I tuck my pokeflute. I am ready to be to be mush. I am
Já,
really
já.
confused about that comment. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Nei,
Look at
hvað
that.
getur maður svo sem sagt nú?
Oh, fat man, look at that.
Já, maður.
See, it's beautiful. Áttu ennþá stóru, frægu Spider-Man styttuna?
Nei,
It's
það
gone?
var hann eitthvað.
Svona
Var það
heldur
þarna Spider-Man
stór,
3?
sko. Nei, þetta var nú bara svona, kannski var þetta keypt í Hagkaup eitthvað, svona risa stytta.
Já, þetta er alltaf bara það sem ég er með núna. Ég átti þarna eitthvað á Spider-Man 3 sem ég bara veit ekkert hvað varð um.
Já.
En ég
Nexus,
með
Nexus hjálpar bjarga því.
Batman er hérna þarna, galvaskuð. Það er þetta þarna, já, halló. Batman.